Hello, welcome to this edition of Sports Madness TV. And you're lucky if you're viewing this one because this is our first YouTube. Of course, I am Hawk and I'm with my man as always, Gator. How are you doing today, Gator?
Doing pretty good, Hawk. Got
All righty. I hear you got something about the MLB you want to talk about, so let's lay it on the line.
well, first of all, we can all rejoice for just a minute, I think, because we have finally passed the threshold that we are no longer without football.
That is a great thing. That is a very great thing.
I just want to speak for all men in general. Yes, we love you. We still want to have sex when it's convenient. And we're probably going to have one on the TV because our mood is going to determine on what's going to happen when our team plays, whether it be a bunch of 19-year-olds in college or on an NFL field. I might scream during the moment because, the Packers are playing. Hawks probably going to be in the corner tugging out to Aaron Rodgers, Steelers. I don't want to know. That's business. But yeah, anyway, back big day going on here today for the final headline. But before I get into that, little thing from the last episode that we have, July 12th, Aaron Judge became the fastest Yankees player to reach 350 home runs with one organization. The last time that happened was August 31st of 1927. Do you know who I'm referring to that did it?
Honestly, no.
That was the day that the great Bambino himself, Babe Ruth,
Oh,
hit
I knew
his
that sounded familiar.
50th home run with the Yankees. And check, this is kind of interesting here. I did a little comparison through some stats. It took the Bambino 1,082 games and 4,825 appearances at the plate. Judge did it in 1,088 games. Only 4,749 plate appearances. Along with that, he also hit his 40th home run that day. And it's really shaping up because the AL MVP race is between him and the Seattle Mariners' Cal Riley. And I'm going to tell you something, being a baseball fan, I do not know how you cannot love the sport. I mean, Cal Riley and the home run derby was just phenomenal the way he put on a clinic. And I mean, it is leading up to be a very major, tight AL race between the two of them.
Well, like I said, man, I'm not into baseball very much. I count on you to let me know about some stuff. But I think this home run derby, I did watch the home run derby, and I think it was probably the best home run derby we've seen in the past couple of years. Like,
I think it was one of the best, but I think that it got back to what the All-Star break was about. We finally, as the fans, got
yeah, like this was probably the best All Star break that we had because I did pay attention to it because I saw how many guys from my team went to the All Star, and I was just like, oh crap, I was like 9 people off the Detroit Tigers got into the All Star, and I was like, dude, that's pretty incredible. So I got to pay attention to this, I guess. And yeah,
yeah.
the All Star game, the home run derby, it was all. I I'm gonna do a pun here, but it was a knock out of the park, man. Like this one was better than the past couple of ones I've seen.
Well,
And like
used
and,
to
and
when
like I said, I'm not a big MLB guy, not big into baseball. Because like when I lived in NC, all I would get is Atlanta Braves games and it's fucking Atlanta. And so
well, as a fan,
dang it, I used my one F bomb already.
we finally got back the actual way the All-Star game used to be when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
We didn't have
Like this All Star break reminded me of what I used to watch as a kid.
we didn't
You
have
know, and
flashy AL jerseys like they did the past couple of years in the NL jerseys. Every player got to represent their team on the.
yeah,
They didn't have
that's,
American in a red and the national in a blue. It was if you played for one,
yeah.
you wore your.
It was home and away jerseys. That's why I don't like the All Star games in the NBA anymore. It's like, dude, when they used to wear their own jerseys and stuff like that, that's how.
A lot of people were complaining that that was not the All Star game. It's about the patches that they put on these jerseys now. That hey,
Yeah,
growing up a baseball fan, watching the All Star game, as a kid, you had Derek Jeter, Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones. You had Mike Piazza, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr. You had the big time players of that generation. And this year, it kind of felt with Cal Riley being in the home run derby, it felt like watching the kid again. It felt like Rick
yeah.
back out there on the
Oh,
diamond.
I completely agree with that.
It was like you waiting to see your favorite players play a game. I mean, back then, it didn't matter who won the All Star game. It was more or less bragging right that the AL was better than the NL. Now their record is 6-6, the AL 6, NL 6, and you're playing for home field advantage during the home run derby. I mean, during the World Series. So, I mean, there's a lot of implications to it. But the biggest thing about it after this All Star break was the trade deadline. I know everybody wants to hear about the trade deadline from the NFL, the NBA, and is LeBron going to leave the Lakers? Frank,
Uh,
I don't give a rat's end if he stays or goes. I wish he would go because then I can go back pulling for my team.
and this is the perfect time to bring up possibly a third person to this podcast, known as going to be Bull. He's a huge LeBron fan, and I can't wait to get him on this episode with the two of us.
I should have thought about what we were doing tonight, but I had to rep the Hornets, who won
Oh
their
yeah,
first championship, even though it was the summer league. But hey, it's a shame
you
that
know what? Kudos to them. That's the first championship that Charlotte. No,
yeah,
Hurricanes won. Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup.
championship in Charlotte.
So I think this is the well, Carolina Hurricanes does play in Raleigh.
No,
So Charlotte, this is the first Charlotte trophy.
I said Charlotte
Yeah. Well,
Panthers, and
I was clarifying it for the fans.
but Jordan had to rely on a Duke player to bring him one. Shout out to Conti Nipple. But back to the topic at hand. Today's biggest thing over the past week was the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And for last night, I was at work, and of course, my phone going up with all these notifications and everything. But the biggest move has to go to the Seattle Mariners because
You all right?
yeah, I hit the
Do I
tape.
need to pause?
Nah, you good.
All right.
I like live entertainment.
Okay.
Mover,
Drinky.
the biggest mover in the whole thing, like I said, was the Seattle Mariners. They traded for the
Yeah.
hard
Yeah, like
home run king to put with Cal Riley of Suarez from the Arizona Diamondbacks. I mean, they brought in this kind of like the Basham brothers were to Mighty Ducks back in the 90s. The Yankees needed, I can't say anything. They did the Mariners did two separate trades for Suarez and Naylor, who were both from Arizona. I mean, now you got Kyle Riley, who's hitting almost the deep ball every time he's up to bat. And you bring in Suarez, who kind of had a big hand in helping the NL All Stars overcome the AL All Stars. Um, you know, best record in baseball still goes to the Brewers, which I'm going to call this, so don't hold me to it. But, the World Series to me right now, I got the Brewers and the Tigers, and I think the Brewers are going to win their very first one just because they have come out of nowhere.
and
The death of Bob
I
Uecker,
mean
like,
I mean I hate to say this as a Tigers fan. It's the only MLB team I know, viewers, but I think you're right.
well, here's my next thing. You want to see, and please, comment section, we're welcome to them, but I personally get tired of seeing the same teams over and over and over
Oh
again.
yeah, like that's part of the reason why I hate LeBron.
When
I got tired of seeing him in the final.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, 2017,
I mean,
everybody
that's why I hate Tom Brady. I got tired of seeing Tom Brady.
everybody
Like,
knows Astros cheated that season. Everybody knows that it should have been the
yeah,
Dodgers. Yankees should have won the World Series. Because they had that team that year to do it. Just like I will go back and say in 2001 when Arizona won it, even though they had Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling pitching, that was New York's year to win the World Series because of 9/11 and everything going on.
yeah.
But it wasn't meant to be. Uh, the next biggest winner that I have from the MLB draft, and I mean the trade deadline, which this is really kind of rushed to do, so I had to throw something together. I apologize. I'm normally more prepared. Was the Astros are bringing back Carlos Carrera, who they traded away, and the only reason they got Carrera back was because he initiated his no trade clause and said he was not going to stay with it. So Carrera's coming back to the Astros. Wonder what that's going to mean for them
Yeah.
in the AL. They're leading the division they're in the AL, but like anything else, the Yankees were leading theirs, and now we are in second place, just barely holding on to the wild card, and it's really getting harder because we are now in August. We have 28 games this week, and then we have 25 next month, and we got to close the gap on
Did you say 25 games this week?
this month.
You said this week, my man. Like, trust me, everybody in the comments will point you out on that.
Well,
25 games in 1 week would be hell. I don't care what sport.
make almost 48 hours without any sleep.
Right.
Viewers sue me for saying 25 games a week. The way does feel like 25 games a week.
And honestly, viewers, comment whatever you like, as long as it's not racist, sexual, or just keep it good, clean fun. That's all we want. But
And,
go ahead.
and secondly, if you want to comment, Hawk is a member of Little Woody's Club. So if y'all are a part of that,
Okay.
welcome him in because he's
Your girl's probably part of the Big Beavers.
do like a big beaver now. I'm not gonna lie. Might as well go ahead and throw that out there. Finally, with the trade
We
deadline,
need to edit this out just so you know. Thank you for that.
I've got to touch on my Yankees. We have this has been the year that has been up and down. We lost freaking Garrett Cole at the start of the season to Tommy John surgery. Then Rodon got hurt. But we traded to get McMahon from the Colorado Rockies to have a third baseman, which he's done pretty good. Cody Bellinger's been on fire for the Yankees. Volpe's struggling. Judge out hurt, but we got Jose Caballero and Rosario. And the craziest thing out of all of this is during today's game against the Devil Rays, they made a trade for a Devil Rays player, and the dude literally said goodbye to his team and walked from the third base dugout to the first base dugout and joined the Yankees right then and there in the middle of the freaking ball game. The last time that happened, Will Ferrell did spring training and played for every team that was out west.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So
I mean, honestly,
postseason's getting
so
pretty big. The AL right now, as it stands, you got the freaking Blue Jays, the Astros, Tigers, and the Mariners. You got them. NL, you got the usual suspects, the Dodgers. The Mets are leading their division over the Phillies, which is really shocking to me the way the Phillies play with Bryce Harper, Trey Turner. I mean, it's anybody's game right now. I think the only teams that are really out of it are the Rockies, the Cardinals. I mean, it's
I'm a Tigers fan,
yeah.
but look at what happened with the Tigers since the All-Star break to now.
Well,
I mean, they
here's
lost 12 in a row and then started winning again. So I want to know what the fuck. Ah,
well,
damn, that's my second.
here's the thing
And
about
we're not even in the second subject yet. Shit.
here's the thing with baseball. If you got a good pitching staff, rotation, you're
Well,
games.
yeah, like what was messed up last year about the Tigers is they had what, 5, 6, 7 pitchers in rotation? And I
Well,
think that's what screwed them up.
it's not that screwed them up, but I,
Like,
Yankees for this example for you. So our ace is Garrett Cole. I mean,
what, for the Yankees?
yeah, no
Yeah.
pitcher has ever allowed 4 home runs in the Subway Series like he did last year. Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. You're getting up in age. Your arm's not what it used to be. I mean, look at Clayton Kershaw. Had 3,000 career strikeouts a couple of weeks ago. And you got to build around that. So we got Garrett Cole. We got Nestor Cortez. No, Carlos Rodon, excuse me. Cortez got traded. You just brought in a right-handed pitcher, a closer. I mean, you got to have a good pitching staff that
Yeah.
He's going to throw the ball, and I think the Tigers are doing good with it. But the next side of that is your fielders have to be on point.
Yeah, your fielders have to be fielders.
They're not. The Yankees are not a team that has a Derek Jeter, an Alex Rodriguez, a Alfonso Soriano. You don't have Andy Pettit on the mound, or Roger Clemens, or David Wells, CC Sabathia. I mean, you got here,
Well,
you got Cody Bellinger. I mean, you're making good players and you're bringing in good talent. It's just you don't have. I mean, you got Max Fried, but now it's getting into the part of the season. You're past the All Star break. Toronto's just trying to ride momentum to keep that first place. They're winning the games they have to, but
fuck the Blue Jays.
they ought to lose. I mean, right now the goal is when baseball starts up in April, you're trying to get to the All Star break where everything can change after. I mean, you could be in third place in your division, and after the All Star break, you move right on up into first. I mean, it's just the way it is, and it's a funny sport because all it takes is one bad pitch, and the opposing team
Yeah,
hits one out of the park with bases loaded, or got one man on, and you need 2 runs to tie the game. I mean,
well,
it's so fickle, but I mean, it's just one of those that you don't have any kind of help if you wanted to cheat to win, kind of like the refs in the NBA, the refs in the NFL. I mean, you you got to go out there and show out every night. And just because Garrett Cole gives up 4 home runs, well, tomorrow night I'm throwing Carlos Rodon or Max Fried. I need them to be on their point, because if they're not on point, then you just cost me. We lost the game.
yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah. I mean, the bottom line I've noticed. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. In the MLB, your deciding player 100% of the time is going to be your pitcher.
well, not necessarily, because every pitcher steps up and they go, "Okay, I want to strike out 27 times."
Yeah,
I don't want.
but like my dream lineup would be Randy Johnson at pitcher and Miguel Cabrera at catcher.
See mine.
I mean,
My
I do think Cabrera is one of the most underrated MLB players of all time.
I'm uh,
Because that dude did a lot for Detroit that just did not get recognized.
my starting pitcher for baseball, if I had a team, would be.
And you know more about baseball, so I'm going to lose this
Yeah, well,
one.
no, I mean, it's Andy Pettit. I mean, the dude was a genius. My
Yeah,
my game two would be David Wells, just because of the fact that he is just amazing. If I had to pick a catcher, it's going to be Jorge Posada or Javi Lopez from the Braves. I mean, they're just two of the best out there.
all right, give me a relief pitcher. And I want that guy that pitched the no hitter on LSD, whatever his name was. But holy shit, could you imagine?
The pitcher that pitched no hitter while he was drunk, that was
No,
David.
on LSD.
Oh, See,
It was like back in the '60s, man. I cannot remember his name. I'm sure somebody will say it in the comments,
see,
and we'll have to bring it up next episode. But yeah, that
my
guy. I mean,
boy,
imagine a pitching a no hitter while dragons and birds and shit are flying at you. You know, like
ask Randy Johnson. He killed a bird on 102 miles.
I know, like, dude, that's why I suggested Randy Johnson. He obliterated, like, all you see was fluff. Like, damn, I'm sorry for that dove or a pigeon or whatever the hell. I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer on the beginning of this episode for language. Hopefully, we don't get demonetized too much.
Well, I mean, baseball's getting to be interesting. We're finding out what teams are made of right now. But I know
Yeah,
you are chomping at the bits. You're probably about to bust a nut over there to discuss this. So take it away with what you got for us.
Alrighty. We are going to take a quick break and I'll come back with the news. Hey, welcome back from that intermission. And now we're going to talk about the NFL and the Hall of Fame game
What's
between the Chargers and the Lions and talk about what kind of messed up game was this to bring us into the new season. Chargers winning 35-7?
I'm pretty sure they quarterback.
And I tell everybody this. This is why I do not watch preseason, man. Like, I do not care about preseason because there's a bunch of kids going out there. Like if Hibbert, Amari St. Brown, Golf, they were all starting, this would actually be a game. But like, dude, like, like Hutchins was like the only like career starter that we're gonna have that actually played today. And a couple of the younger guys. But it's preseason. Halftime, they yank them out and throw some nobodies in. That they got that maybe did well at training camp,
Well, I mean,
and this is like I hate preseason just because like you see a guy that you like, and then he might get cut. A guy that you follow from college, maybe he's on the team, maybe he's on your favorite team, and then you watch him get cut. I mean, it's kind of gut wrenching, man. That's why I separate college from NFL. But like honestly, like if there was the starters playing today, I mean Trey Lance did have an incredible game, but he was against the backup defense. Against that starting Detroit defense, he would never win that game. This is why I do not care about preseason all that much. Yeah, it's football, and I appreciate football. I love football. Football is like my favorite sport of all time. And you could ask Gator. I whooped his ass twice in fantasy. He whooped my ass once last year, which I still good job on that. But football is my shit. I love football, and preseason is not football.
well, see, thing about it.
Like preseason football is a lot like a high school game in my head. Like, yeah, you want to go out and watch it, but do you expect these nobodies to be any good? No, not really. But it's still football.
Preseason is
I mean, dude,
roster.
Dude, like, God, I want to say the Tar Heels defense would have put up a better job right now than that Detroit defense against me. the Chargers right now. And we know this from Detroit last year because I do live here and I watch or keep tabs on Detroit games. And without our starters on defense, we kind of suck.
Well, another
You
thing
know?
Detroit right now is they don't have an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's another good thing too, man. Is like we don't really have one. I can't remember who's taking over on that job right now. I know it's not Dan Campbell, which I do believe Dan Campbell should be like, "Hey, I'm taking over on offensive coordinator." Um, just because you look at what he's done in the past couple of years, and yeah, he should be offensive coordinator as long. I mean, he was a tight end on that, infamous 0-16 Detroit team that we had way back when. But that's honestly why I'm a Packers fan, is because how can you be a fan of that? I mean, not the reason, but it helps. Um, but
The same reason that people are Dallas Cowgirl fans every year. It's our year. We them
but
boys.
but like I gotta bring this up too, is that like yeah, me being a Green Bay Packer fan, you like Green Bay Packers. Um, I don't expect them winning the NFC North this year.
Who?
I expect the Vikings are gonna win. They got JJ McCarthy back and healthy. He's been looking good at training camp, been looking good at practice. Yeah, I mean, he connected for Jefferson for 80 yards in practice and long ball, not just like 10 and out, long ball, 80-yard touchdown. We
Yep.
just, so like, honestly, it's going to come like the NFC North, I believe, is going to come down to the Vikings and Detroit. But you know how Detroit crumbles when it gets close to playoff time. So I think the Vikings got it. And I hate to say it because I am here in Detroit, but I don't hate to say it at the same time because JJ McCarthy is a Wolverine. So hate me, not hate me. No, dude, you cannot tell me because, like, dude, you're a semi Packers fan, right? I
No,
mean, do you think?
Packers
Huh?
fan.
Oh yeah, you are a Packers fan, but do you really think Jordan Love's our guy?
I think
Because
he.
I don't think so.
I think he learned from one of the league. I think that he has the chance to be great. I mean, so far, the only flaw that I have with Jordan Love is he throws the fucking ball off the fucking foot in major situations that he could win
Yeah,
ball games.
yeah, and you can tell he doesn't practice that. It's like
Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna make that play.
Josh Allen's going to make that play. Lamar Jackson's going to make that play. Like Jordan Love is not going to do it. He wants to be like them, but he's not them. And
You
it's like, dude, like this is my problem with the Packers drafting him anyway. Is that like, okay, you drafted Brett Favre, who is a pocket passer that learned to scramble later. You drafted Aaron Rodgers, who got to be the best scrambler later, and then you got Jordan Love, who doesn't trust his offensive line for shit and will immediately scramble and throw off his back foot.
know who I think about every time I see him do that shit?
And I'm sorry, y'all. This is a Packers breakdown right now. But yeah, go ahead, Gator.
Fucking Dak Prescott.
Yeah, Dak Prescott is famous for that. And what? And you know what? Cowboy fans want to ride this guy's fucking dick. I'm sorry for swearing. That's another dollar in the jar. But I do have a swear jar. I donate it.
I'm
But
a lot of flack for this comment, and I'm getting really close to the camera when I say this. So, Dallas fans, bring your best because I will shut that shit down. Dak Prescott is not the answer to quarterback in Dallas. I'm sorry. I'm not in no shape, form, or fashion racist when I say this, but when has Dallas ever had a black QB? It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I mean, I'm sorry. He is not the greatest
uh,
that you think he is. I mean, he's not a Troy Aikman. He's not a Tony Romo. If you ask any diehard Dallas fan, they will tell you Dak Prescott is not the quarterback that they need.
all right. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
I know Dallas Prescott. He had Ezekiel Elliott, and they still couldn't do shit. And so I think Dallas is wrong for a different reason, which I will bring up here in a minute. But Jesus Christ, what makes you think Tony Romo was good?
Compared to Dak Prescott,
Dak does have more playoff wins than Tony Romo does.
but
Just saying.
yeah, but he was still a decent quarterback when you compare him to Roger
He
Staubach.
was a decent quarterback. I'm sorry, Tony Romo is my most hated quarterback of all time.
Tony Homo neither.
Personally.
But I mean,
And do you know why? No, let me tell you why he's my most hated quarterback of all time. The reason why I hate Tony Romo to this day is not because of how he played on the field, is because of Dallas fans. It's the reason why I hate Dallas to this day. Now, I don't think their problem is Dak Prescott. I don't think their problem is Des Bryant. I don't think their problem was Ezekiel Elliott. I don't think their problem was that fucking badass defense. The reason why I hate Dallas right now is because I learned over the years, and it's got to be Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is probably the worst owner in the league. He's right. He's riding on the 4 Super Bowls he won. What 30 years ago?
let's put it this way. Let's go one
He's
step.
a billionaire
Let's
because
go a step further. If he would
uh,
have if Jerry Jones would have left Jimmy Johnson alone,
yeah.
Dallas would have been the first team to win 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah, because they won 5. What? They won 5 in 10 years, 8 years.
Oh, wait. No, they won their first Super Bowl with Tom Landry.
Yeah, you can probably look that up a little bit quicker than I can right now.
Dallas is
Yeah, but yeah, Tom Landry. Yeah. Didn't they win 3 with him?
Yeah, that's when they had the Legion of Boom or the Doomsday
Yeah.
Defense.
Yeah.
Then they got 2 with Jimmy Johnson and Troy Aikman as quarterback. Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin.
Yeah. Michael Irvin. he's a top 3 receiver to me personally.
Tony Romo to Dak Prescott, hands down, Romo was the better quarterback.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
That's what I.
But like the thing, Tony Romo never had the defense that Dak Prescott had.
But he still found a way to win games. Still found a way to come from behind and win games. Love them, hate them. If you're going to talk about Dallas quarterbacks, I mean, let's be for real. The greatest Dallas quarterback of all time was Roger Staubach.
Yeah, I agree.
Then you got to throw Dan Meredith in there. Where does Troy Aikman rate in that category? Because, you know, I'm a fan. But before I became a Packers fan, my mother is a Cowboys fan. I wanted Troy Aikman in the backyard because Troy Aikman was like the best quarterback at that time. Who did not want to be Aikman as a kid in the 90s?
Me, because I had a Favre jersey, man.
I had Favre.
I was a Brett Favre guy.
But before I found out Brett Favre was in the Green Bay Packers, all you heard around was Dallas, 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 Dallas.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna age myself here, but I remember I told you this. The first game that I ever watched that made me fall in love with football, and it was a 99-yard pass to Robert Brooks, 99 yards in the air for a technically 102 yards completion to a Robert Brooks, and I don't remember what it was, but it was the 1996 Super Bowl. Them against the Denver Broncos. Brett Favre and the Packers did lose that Super Bowl, but still, that's what made me fall in love with the Packers. That's why I'm a ride or die Packers fan, because I was a young child and I saw that incredible athleticism, and it was the Packers. So I'm a ride or die Packers fan. I don't care what the comments people say. Yeah, like you can diss me about my opinion about Jordan Love, but we did have a 3-time MVP in it, Brett Favre, a 4-time MVP in Aaron Rodgers. Do you think if Jordan Love is ever going to win an MVP?
Hell no.
Hell no, exactly. But Brett Favre won 3. He got traded from Atlanta to be a Packer and won 3. Aaron Rodgers got drafted behind Brett Favre. You know, learn from one of the best, and won 4. And that's all with one franchise.
Here's
two quarterbacks.
Here's my take on it.
And 7 quarterback MVPs.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, but used to when Favre played Aikman, and you know it was we're going to stand in the pocket and we're going to throw the ball. Our offensive line is going to protect our quarterback at no matter. Then about late 90s, early 2000s, Mike Vick busts onto the scene and he became a running quarterback. So then every quarterback in the league had to learn to be a running quarterback, not just a passing quarterback.
Yeah,
and then now
they had to learn how to dribble. They had to learn to dodge and get out of the way and protect that throw.
when we were kids, you stood in the pocket. Your offensive line protected your ass no matter what.
Oh,
Big
like,
busts on the team, and it becomes
oh,
run and gun, run and gun, and then now it's gone back to look at
I mean,
Patrick.
Dre-
He can stand in the pocket, but more times, like if you rush him in a game,
I mean,
out of times he's scrambling throwing that ball. You
I
watch
mean,
Josh Allen,
look,
he's standing in the pocket. He's not trying to scramble unless he has to. So now you got one quarterback who is by far one of the best in the league right now, who is a
oh,
scramble quarterback. On the flip side of that coin, you have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL that is going to stand in the pocket like the old school way of playing football and throw that ball 99 yards without having to scramble for it. So, I mean, which way's the better way here? What are you going to do?
you didn't see that. Well, I agree. I mean, you look at, you remember the game that pretty much ended Brett Favre's career. Now, no, a lot of people got in trouble that year. Remember,
Yeah.
Brett Favre took them, the Vikings, to the playoffs for the first time in like 10 years. And the New Orleans Saints pretty much got a bonus if they killed that guy. He played 2.5 quarters on a broken ankle, still trying to be out there. 2.5 quarters on a broken ankle. I don't have a notepad, so but like you remember that,
Yeah.
yeah, like, and that's what killed that man. I mean, you can say what you want, but Brett Favre still holds the record for the Iron Man. He still holds the Iron Man record. Most consecutive starts. He, no matter, and that's why Brett Favre is my personal favorite player of all time. It does not matter the sport. Even if he was hurt, if he was injured, if he could barely walk, he would get out of that field every damn weekend, practice what he could, and at least start in that game. If he had to be taken out in the third quarter, he would argue and say that I would finish this. Kind of like that really famous Matthew Stafford game-winning drive. You remember that?
Yep.
That was Brett Favre every single damn week, but he didn't get that publicity. Fucking, oh my God, that's another dollar. I owe like $5. Shut up. But Matthew Stafford got hit and separated his shoulders and threw a pass that put Detroit in the game-winning or field goal position to win the game. Brett Favre did that shit every week.
Yeah. See, now, like I said, the thing Brett Favre stayed in the pocket, and he didn't have to worry about somebody.
Oh yeah, Brett Favre could not run. Like, and that's why
He didn't have to worry about opposing team's defense getting in the backfield and busting his ass and knocking his head in the dirt.
Oh yeah, he did.
Mahomes has to worry about them trying to take him out every snap of a game, so he's got to scramble. So, I look at it this way, and my uncle told me this story, and
I like before you even tell the story, I would love to be a linebacker with Mahomes. Because I would break the strategy and just kill him.
relative, I'm going to use
That's for the Swifties.
Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen for it. My uncle told me the story about the real truth, and what it is
I hope you agree.
guy playing farm on one side of town. We're gonna say that's Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes builds a football stadium on the other side of town. Josh Allen prays for rain. Patrick Mahomes prays it doesn't rain. So what's the relative truth here? Because both of them are right. Josh Allen's pocket like the days of the past. Patrick Mahomes tried to keep Michael Vick's legacy alive by being a scrambling quarterback. So who's
No, Lamar's you just brought it in a good theory. What if Mahomes and Allen are the new Brady and Manning?
they really pretty much
What if it turns into
that's what it's going to be, because every year let's look at it.
because yeah, I mean, look at who Buffalo recruited this year.
Wait a minute, hold on. Before further, I got to do it. We went there. Now I have to do this.
Dude, you know, so I want to hear it. Come on.
Hello, friends. Jim Nance here. We are witnessing the rise of Brady Manning Part 2 with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh fuck, that's good. Well, like you.
See, Patrick Mahomes has the ball over here, and he's thinking it's a sandwich, and then he's going to go boom right over here to Travis Kelce. And Kelce busts up the seam. Yes, sports fans, live for you here. This is Howard Cosell, and watch Josh Allen throws the ball down. Didn't have Stephon Diggs anymore. What do you think, Don? Howard, you're my best friend. I didn't know you cared. But I'm just say, turn out the lights. The party's over. Yeah, well, there's time over.